today I got for you the Rep Fitness AB-500 Zero Gap Adjustable Bench. Really long title, lots of letters, pretty cool bench. Let's get into it. So this, before the Arnold of 2023, this was their pinnacle. This was their top tier bench. It's big, at over 100 pounds weight. It is sturdy with a weight capacity of 1,000 pounds, but I bet you could do more on it. It has this very good grippy vinyl pop pin design. Pop pin design. It is the creme de la creme for adjustable benches from Rep Fitness until the Arnold, when the Batwing came out. The Batwing is this, with a ladder design, with some annoying things about this bench that they fixed for that bench. So let's get into this bench, why it's awesome, what could be improved, what alternatives you have from Rep Fitness specifically, and there are a lot. If you know anything about Rep Fitness, you know they have a lot of benches and that people really like their benches. All these are true. This is one of the options we have. Here we go. So, the keys to this is you have a pop pin design that goes from 0 to 15 to 30, all the way up to 90. Boom, 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 and I'm not going the rest of the way up because I'm reaching across and it's weird. Now, one thing about adjustable benches that will tend to bother people is the fact that there is a gap in the seat that you will feel specifically when it's more flat, right? You see this with the AB-500, you see this with any adjustable bench on the market until the Zero Gap arrived. So there is a gap here. All you have to do is pull this pop pin below and slide it back, and there is no gap. And it adjusts, it has a bunch of different hole adjustments to get there, and you have a very nice setup. So if you are someone where that bugs you, this is fixed. They made this for you, which is super cool. In addition, it has a section here that you can put a decline attachment in. So you could get a 30-degree incline there, you can decline here, you can pop that pin and zero gap it, and you have your leg attachment here that you hook your feet under. You could do decline sit-ups, you can set up for bench press and do some decline bench. So a very cool option if you're someone who wants the decline as well, because some of the other options that are good alternatives to this do not offer a decline. Things like the 4100, which I had a review on that, link up there. You guys should definitely check it out, and if this didn't work and I didn't figure out how to put a window here, it'll be in the description. Cool, so I love this. I love this bench, lots of cool things about it. Couple downsides. For me, I am a heavy bench presser. I benched over 500 pounds in competition, in training. I do a lot of work, 300 plus, all the way up into the 400s. So a steady bench matters. I'm also a pretty big guy at 275 pounds as of this moment, but I've been as heavy as 295 in competition before. So for me, when I'm prepping, your bench weight is you plus the stuff. So if I'm 275 pounds and I'm bench pressing 500 pounds, that puts me over that 700 pound mark. So this being 1,000 pound capacity is nice. Now, it can support up to 1,000 pounds. They could probably support more than 1,000 pounds. That's just what they've tested it for. So it is a very stable bench. Now, the other things that come with very stable benches is very heavy benches. Again, at over 100 pounds, it can be kind of a pain to move around. Add to that, it has a vertical handle on the bottom. It's kind of like a rubberized grip. It's just not my favorite. Alternatives would be the AB-500, which is an adjustable bench by Rep, capacity at 700 pounds, but guarantee it's better than that. It is a lighter bench, but it has a cross handle on the bottom that's a little easier to grab. So that was one personal gripe I had. I don't love a super heavy bench, but more importantly, if it's a heavy bench, I want to have a nice, easy way to grab it and move it around, and that just isn't really the case for this bench. Gripe number 2 or 3, another gripe I have, is I tuck my feet when I bench. If you're in a federation that makes you keep your heels on the ground, this isn't going to be an issue for you, but if you're in a federation and you're benching, or you just like to bench on your toes with your feet tucked back, there is kind of a cross hub on the bottom. So it sticks out in the front, comes out on the sides. It doesn't come out as wide as more standard benches do with like a kind of a T going down on the bottom, but wide enough that I definitely catch my feet on it sometimes when I'm benching. And that's a little annoying, especially for a bench that's this pricey. This bench, the AB-500 Zero Gap, goes from anywhere between $500 and $550. As of this video, it's on sale for $500, but in general, it's $550. Other thing, last thing that's kind of my gripe, and this is kind of a personal gripe. It may not matter to you, but for me, I am not a huge fan of pop pins. And there's not even really a good reason for that. I think the main reason is my previous benches when I was just starting out, getting some equipment, were pop pins, and they just felt really cheap. That being said, the pop pins on this, super beefy, super sturdy. They feel very hardy, if that's the right word, compared to the cheap benches. Now, if you're someone that started out with flybirds and you had like a ladder kind of bench that felt super cheap, you might love pop pin designs and kind of have a weird feeling about ladders. So that's 100% personal preference. Let's talk about some other options to this bench. You might look at this bench and say, wow, $550, kind of a lot of money. What else we got? AB-500 would be another option. As we talked about earlier, we got links for that. It is a little shorter, which means you're definitely going to have your butt on that crack when you're bench pressing for most people. And if that bugs you, you may not love it. If it doesn't bug you, that's a great bench, and it is $100 to $150 less than this one. It does not decline though. Other options, if you like the ladder style bench, you don't care about the zero gap, the AB-500 is a ladder style adjustable bench, very similar to this, just without the zero gap. Its price tag, $500 to $550, so it's literally the same price as this one. They actually have a version 1 and a version 2. I do not know the difference, but things I do like about that bench is the foot things are not that weird cross hub. The handle is a horizontal, easy to grab handle. It's still heavy as balls, just like this one. That is another good option. The best option for the all-in-one though, they just put out, I don't have it, it is the Batwing. So the Arnold happened, and then this came out, and basically it's like they read my mind and the things I didn't love about this bench and changed it. The foot is not this cross hub. It's more like a competition style bench, tripod design, so that is not an issue. It has the horizontal handle instead of that vertical handle. It is nice, easier to grab. You're still gonna be dealing with this heavy of a bench. It's easier to handle. It has the zero gap, which is super cool, and I think a very neat and unique thing on benches. It is a ladder, which makes it even more my cup of tea compared to this one. So I guess and it is $600. So it's $100 to $50 more depending on if this is on sale or not. Is it $100 better? I don't think so. Is it $50 better? I think so. So if this was at full price $550 and I saw the Batwing for $600, I personally would probably jump on the Batwing. But if you hate ladders, this is better. So it's going to be a lot of personal preference here. The main competitors to this one are going to be the 5200, which does not have the zero gap, and the Batwing, which has the zero gap and is a ladder style. So if you love pop pins, you're going to like this better than the Batwing. If you prefer ladders and a little different footing on the front, you're probably going to prefer the Batwing. So that is a lot of information. A rep does this to us by having way too many freaking benches and way too many words and letters in their titles, which is kind of my biggest con with rep is I don't like 2 letters and a bunch of numbers and then other letters, and it's too long. Just call it like the good adjustable. I don't know. They gotta figure something out though, because I get tongue twister going through this. That was a lot. Okay, if you've made it this far, you are a loyal, not fan, but we're cool. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, drop a comment. If you have this bench or if you have the 4100 or one of the other options, how do you think they would compare to something like this? Are you someone who doesn't care about that gap being filled with the zero gap, or are you someone that does? Let me know, and I want to hear your opinions on this. This is helps the channel to get the comments in there, and then I'm always just curious what other lifters think and what your viewpoints are on these things. Final note, affiliate links in the bottom, in the description. I got everything down there. Links to everybody, this bench specifically, and the Rep Fitness link. And yeah, click through that. You'll be doing us a solid, and I will see you guys next time. Later.